If you've been trading gold, you've probably noticed something weird. Price loves to react around big round numbers like 3,250, 3,300, 3,350. It's almost as if gold has a thing for clean, even numbers. But guess what? This isn't a coincidence. These are called psychological levels. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot these psychological levels in gold and how to use them as simple, powerful confirmations on your trades. Whether you're just starting out or still trying to figure out your edge, this is something you definitely want to have in your toolbox. Now, the first thing you want to do when you want to draw a psychological level is you want to get your ruler tool. Now, there are two ways of drawing the psychological level on gold. It's either you are using 50 pips measurements or 100 pips measurements. Now, for example, we want to use the 100 pips measurements. You take your ruler tool and you just measure 50 pips from wherever price is currently at. So currently price is at 3,337. So the closest whole number from there is going to be 3,340. So let's mark 3,340. We measure 50 pips. No. Mark the 3,340, 3,339, 3,340. So somewhere around here. Edit it. This is 3,340. Then we take our ruler tool and we mark 50 pips from that, upwards and downwards. So 100 pips from there is going to be, this is 79, 80, 100. So we expect 100 pips from 3,340 to be 3,350. So we'll take our horizontal line and put it at 3,350. Now, this is subjective. It depends on how you want your chart to be. Like me personally, I zoom into my chart, so I prefer using 50 pips measurement because I find out that gold moves a lot. Gold moves a lot of pips. So those 100 pips might not accurately account for every single move or every single entry you might get. So in order to maximize it, that's why I make use of the 50 pips measurement. But let's just take the 100 pips measurement first. So this 3,350 here. Then we just repeat the same thing a couple of times. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at the reactions at these psychological levels. Now, as you can see, when price gets to a psychological level, there's usually one form of reaction or the other. So here we notice at this point, we have this psychological level here, which is 3,330, and you can see the reactions here. You can see the reactions here. Just take this tool. Once it gets to psychological level here, it drops. Gets to psychological level, a small pushback. Gets to psychological level, a small pushback. See the reaction here, psychological level again. Same thing the other way. Now in this place it has acted as resistance, pushing price back down. So now it has broken the resistance, gone up to another psychological level, and what happens again? A reaction. Another reaction, going all the way back to another psychological level, all the way down here, and you see this movement again, a push up again. So as you can see, multiple reactions. It gets to a psychological level, it reacts, gets to a psychological level, it reacts. So you have every reason to add these psychological levels as added confirmations to your strategy, whatever it may be. But for example's sake, let's take two of the most basic strategies. Let's take breakouts and reversals. Now, as you can see here, in this case, we've had a sort of support being created here. See, it touched here, went back up, touched here, went back up again before finally coming down. Now, if we zoom in, you can see that the first candle didn't quite break the psychological level. You understand? So you're taking a breakout strategy. You're obviously going to take your entry when price breaks your zone. So price hasn't broken our zone, so we can't have an entry. But look at when price breaks the psychological level and see the reaction. So in this case, we have this break here, tapped into another psychological level, but broke this level, also broke this one here. So you would have had something like this, maybe a sell. You take your sales from here, place your stops, and you take your sales. Boom, that's a breakout. Another example, now in this case we also have another breakout. But look at this, you might say, okay, where's the psychological level? Now this is, you can't really see it here because this is, we are using 100 pips measurements here. Calculate, these are ruler tool, and you see that this is about 100 pips of measurement. Now let's see where the 50 pips mark is. So 50 pips from here, in between, this is 33.70. so 50 pips before that would have been 33.65. so we plot our horizontal tool at 33.65, and boom, there you have it. So you have our zone again, have the zone, reaction of the zone. Now we have a rejection before a break. Now it not only breaks the zone, it also breaks the psychological level, if you get what I'm trying to get at. So as an added confirmation, now not only breaking your zone but also breaking the psychological level. We have our short tool, we take our entries here, stops below the zone, above the zone rather, boom. Now for reversals, here we have a resistance being formed here. We have the first head, then we have the second head. Price comes back into that zone, taps your zone, and what does it do? Boom, a break of the psychological level. For the reversals, we had this, so below the zone, boom, and we got to another zone here, tested. You look at the candlestick formations here, you see this, have our long tool here, have this hammer candle here, stops where? Below the zone, and boom. So you see the effectiveness of the psychological levels. See a lot of reactions on that same psychological level. Just take this off, you see rejection from the same psychological level. So you see that they are very powerful as an added confluence. We also have this case here. We have price coming back into this previously tested zone. See, this zone has been tested 1, 2, 3, and the fourth time is testing the zone. See, you see this formation here, then it gives this momentum candle here. You can also take your short tool, take your entries from here, stops above, a little bit above the zone, and boom, you write it down. So with this, I think I've been able to show you how effective these psychological levels are. Depending on whatever strategy you are using, you can always add them as added confluences. Test it out, see how it works. Drop a comment if it actually applies to your strategy. See you guys in the next video.